All right. So today we have a guest, and you could say it's a real banger. We got Brett07k, and we're just gonna chat and get ADHD with it.
Greasy boy.
Howdy, folks.
There he is.
What's happening? What's cracking?
Let's put him up here.
Oh, on the top?
Yep.
Top?
The big
Hell
dog.
Big dog in the stew.
Sir
Sweet.
Tobias. Where's Mark? Mark.
I
see.
know,
Mark
man.
was
No
late.
Mark.
No, he's here. He was just.
Oh,
late.
he's late. He's late. Yeah.
He's late.
Oh, I gotta pull up the live chat so I can see that too.
Yeah, and then on here you could see the comments on the right side.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Mark is here. Awesome.
Oh, there we go. I see it now. Okay. I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. This is big time. This is Brett's big break, baby.
Speaking of knowing what you're doing, how long have you been doing the YouTube thing? How long has it been?
I think so. I started in late 2023, so it's probably been a little around like a year and a half. I still don't know what I'm doing quite yet. So,
Okay.
Usually how it starts.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is like our 12th episode. That's like what, 3 months, something
Yeah,
like
it's not
that.
bad. Not bad.
So, what has changed within that year and a half?
Oh, dude.
I mean, what comes to mind? I mean, that's a broad question, but
Yeah. So I guess like when I started right after I graduated college. So I graduated college, and then August I got a job, my first job teaching, and I realized I was like, dang, like I got adult money now. Like I can do cool car stuff finally. So I started doing cool car stuff to my Mark II. I pulled the motor, and then I was like, I'm just gonna say screw it. I'm gonna 07k swap it because I've always wanted to, and I started doing that. So I think the content started going crazy and started doing like really well for me, and it just kind of spiraled from there. So I think the biggest thing that's changed is locations, from the shed to an actual shop. I think that's like, if we're talking about like changes, that's pretty major. But I'd also say my content still is not great, like quality, like the production value is not fantastic. Like I use an iPhone still. Like I still use an iPhone and like a $50 mic that I bought at Best Buy. Like I don't do anything crazy. So yeah, that's really it. Shop and content has gotten slightly better. That's
Dude,
no, dude,
Cletus
content's changed a
McFarlane.
lot.
Cletus McFarlane still uses an iPhone.
yeah,
Walt
like
Disney uses an iPhone. He's got like 4 million subs.
yeah. I mean, you don't really need anything else. I bought like a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and 2 weeks into it, I broke the camera. I broke the lens. So I sent it in for repairs, and they told me that it was going to be free because it was under warranty. And then they sent me like an invoice for like $200, and I was like, just send it back. Like I'll just sell it. Whatever. I don't really need it because it's kind of a pain because you have to film with the camera, and then I still edit like on my phone.
Yeah.
So like I have to use the DJI app and then download those onto my phone,
Right.
edit it with CapCut. So I'm just like, you know what? I'll just use my phone, and then maybe if we, get more popular on the tubes and I start making more money with it, I'll buy, I'll be like Kevin Gates. I'll have 2 phones.
That's a good one.
Big brain.
But like, I mean, with how good iPhones are nowadays, like,
Yeah.
and if
like,
you're editing on your phone, there's no point. Like,
yeah,
why get a camera?
like I have,
Especially with you.
yeah, like I've tried editing like on my PC and on my laptop, but like there's just like I don't need all that stuff, you know. Like my videos are just like I like just hard cut next thing, hard cut next thing. Like I don't need all the crazy transitions and stuff. Like I don't need the stimulating videos.
Right, exactly.
I just want them to be
Not
like
like-
nice, clean, and move on.
Yeah, you're not color grading or anything like that.
No,
Yeah.
I tried that once and it looked like crap. So I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'll just stick to the iPhone, and whenever this one takes a poop, I'll just go grab like a 16 or whatever and go from there.
Whenever I shoot my like edit videos, I have a gimbal and stuff, and like I shoot an F-log, so I have to color grade all my stuff. But like that's part of the reason why I don't want to do that stuff anymore. Is it's just such a hassle. Like I'd rather just.
It's such a tedious like annoyance, and I honestly don't know anything about color grading, so I'm like, that's another thing that I need to learn. I need to learn how to build cars. I also need to learn how to color grade now too. Like I don't have enough time for this.
So I have a question.
Okay.
On your videos, you kind of have like a scroll bar at the bottom. I don't know if you've noticed that.
How do you mean?
Like, so like, you know how like on Macs they have the little slide at the bottom?
Yeah.
So you have that. Did you realize that?
No.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Hang on.
Is it here?
Like you talking about the little
Here's-
red thing?
No.
Amy?
Let me see if I can find where I saw it. Well, maybe it was just your older videos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
He's
know.
upgrading, brother.
It could have been
Dude,
something
that
that I.
shop- Go ahead.
What are you talking about? The shop? It's bad.
That's
Isn't it?
that shop is sick, bro. Is that like
Dang.
an old service center or something?
Yeah. So I guess we can get into the shop if we want.
All right.
We'll just jump
Let's go.
around.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, is like it used to be a John Deere dealership back in the day. I think they closed down in like the 90s. So, like farming equipment, power equipment, that kind of stuff. And they closed down in the 90s because my dad was telling me about it because it's in my hometown and everything. He's like, oh, I remember that place. I used to go there all the time with my dad and get John Deere stuff, blah, blah, blah. So I guess like when you walked in, there was like a wall of pegboard, and that's where all like the John Deere like die cast toys and stuff were like on the shelves. And yeah, like there's checkered floor. There's like a checkered pattern on the floor. So you'd have like your lawnmowers and your power equipment and stuff like that. And then they'd have tractors outside. And yeah, I started renting it out. My lease just ended. So I do it like by like a 3-month lease. So I have 3 months and I just renewed the lease. So yeah, it's really affordable. I'm not going to share how much I spend a month on it because then people are going to be like, dude, what? Like you're so lucky.
Yeah, totally. I get that.
I got a good deal. It was a friend it's really weird. So that house that's in the background, one of my students actually lives there, and like she can see me doing this stuff out there, which honestly is less than ideal. And that's another thing we can get into. They've started to find the YouTube, which is not good. That's bad. And they've started
doxxed by third graders.
dude.
I was gonna say, aren't they like third grade, dude?
Yeah. They've started, dude. They know too much, man. Like dude, we're so cooked. We're so
They know
cooked.
more than us, dude. So
Dude, it's
don't
so
worry
bad.
about it.
But yeah, their family lives right over there, and they were like, "Oh, you're so and so's like teacher at school. Yeah, we'll cut you a deal. Like we know teachers don't make anything, so just do what you need, and like if just you got to pay utilities." And so I don't even touch the thermostat. Like when it was like negatives like 12 outside one week, like the thermostat was set to 40. I was like, I'm not touching it. I'm not paying the fuel bill. I'll just go in there fully jacketed up and try to do what I can with my hands freezing. But honestly,
Get
is
a
anything
propane heater.
Dude, I don't love propane heaters because every time I'm in the shop too long, I'm like, whoa. So I don't know. I just tough it out, I guess, because I worked in the shop or the shed for a number of years with absolutely zero heat. So I was like, well, what's like 40 degrees? At least that's better than 20 degrees.
You live? Where do you live again?
So I live in Pennsylvania, like the northwestern part of PA. So like I'm specific cold. Yeah. So like I'm in the snow belt of PA. So we get like we're up there with Buffalo with like how much snow we get. It's not awesome. It sucks. It's awful. I hate it. But
he must be jacked shoveling all that snow.
Nah, no. I used to be, but not anymore. I'm a tubby guy now. But yeah, the shop's cool. I'm starting to realize everyone was like, you're gonna run out of space faster than you think. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm fine. Like I got this. And now I'm gonna have 3 cars in there. And I don't have any room. Like this happened very fast.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. What got you into Mark II / old Euro shit boxes?
Oh, I don't even know, man. So
because you're in PA, dude. It happens by osmosis.
Yeah, but like I'm not even anywhere near like that Euro scene. That PA Euro scene is in like the southeast, like Philly, Maryland.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
So like where I live, it's all boomers, you know, Corvettes and muscle cars and whatnot.
And NASCAR, baby.
And NASCAR, baby. Yeah,
NASCAR, baby.
Yeah. I gotta try to blend in. I'll wear my NASCAR hats every once in a while. Oh, there's Shop Kitty looking through the window. But
yeah, you rock a Jeff Gordon hat, huh, dude?
Yeah, dude, I love that hat.
I rock a Good Wrench #3 hat all the time.
Dude, I always keep my eye out for freaking Dale Earnhardt stuff, but there's nothing ever good.
It's expensive.
Yeah. What were you saying though? Mark IIs and stuff. Yeah. So I got into Mark IIs and old Euro shit boxes just based off of like way back. We'll go all the way back. Midnight Club Underground or like Los Angeles Underground, whatever the hell it was called. There was a Mark I in that game, and I fucking loved that car when I was like 7 years old. It was like I thought it was the coolest car. You know, there's Lamborghinis and stuff, and I was like, I want that car. The fucking literal box. So like I would always play with that car, and I don't know. I just kind of always had like, I was just always like intrigued by them. They were so unique. And when I got older, my first car was a Chevy Aveo. If you guys know what a Chevy Aveo is, it was the biggest piece of crap ever. So when I got rid of that, I got a Mark V GLI Fahrenheit. So if you guys know what a Fahrenheit is, it's like the one of 2,500 or whatever. It's not nothing. One. Yeah, just in a moly yellow Jetta, pretty much a GLI. And I had that car, absolutely loved it. It was the biggest turd ever because it was so unreliable. But like in typical Mark V guy fashion, I did no maintenance to it and only performance parts. So, you know, as an 18-year-old Mark V guy, what else are you going to do?
Priorities, yeah.
Yeah, so it had like big turbo, bigger injectors, tune, downpipe, all that stuff. And it just kept blowing coil packs. And when I sold it, it had a misfire. Don't know why it had a misfire. I didn't know any better. So I sold it off. It was rotting out anyway. So I got rid of that car. But while I had that car, I bought a Mark IV GLI VR6. It was a 24 valve VR6. And I bought that car for $500. Ran and drove just fine. But I bought that car as a donor car for a Mark II that I didn't have yet. So I was like, I'm going to buy this donor car in preparation for having a Mark II. But then that Mark II showed up and in Cleveland, Ohio. And it was like a all original one owner Mark II. Just couldn't get it running. And I went and picked it up for $1,500. So it was like 120,000 original miles. $1,500, had the original 8 valve, all that stuff. And so I picked it up and then we brought it home, got it running. All that was wrong with it, dude, like literally redid the entire fuel system. So I had like new fuel filter, new injectors, new fuel lines. Like it was like dude went through the whole fuel system thinking it was that, like the CIS like system.
Right.
Turns out it wasn't any of that. The wires off of the distributor going onto the spark plugs were just not in the right firing order. So we like
Oh, okay.
so we
Damn.
like took the plugs out, took the plugs
Simple as
off,
that.
plugged them back in, car fired right up, and I drove it for 2 years. Didn't even bolt check it. Didn't check any of the bolts on anything. I was like, fuck it. I'll just go with it. So I daily drove it for 2 years, and I fell in love with it just because, I don't know, something about horrible suspension, because the suspension was still original from 1986. So the struts were blown, gone. So horrible suspension, rattles everywhere.
Oh yeah.
You know, like just pure hell, but I just liked it. And I was just like, this is fun. So I just kind of fell in love with it. And I daily drove it for 2.5 years to my job at Home Depot.
How many dates did you go on and take the Mark II?
None, unfortunately.
Oh, none.
None.
That's how you vet them, you know? Like you're like, if they're willing to put up with this, they really like me, you know?
You know, yeah.
Probably why I
yeah,
never got any dates.
Well, like, okay. Yeah.
I talk.
Let's not talk about that.
But yeah,
I
man,
had to.
I don't know. It's a fun car, and so I guess like I pulled the 8-valve. Well, over like I was in college when I had this car, so like I couldn't do anything to it. Like, you know, it needed a couple things here and there, and that was gonna be like $500, and I was like, I'm in college, like I can't afford $500. Like even though that sounds like, you know, a relatively small price, I was just like, yeah, I can't do it. So I just put it in the shed until I graduated college. And I was like, and then it stopped running. So like I couldn't get it to run. And so I was like, all right, whatever. Like I'll just put it in the shed until I graduate. I'll tinker with it, you know, once I get back from college. And so for my college graduation gift, I told myself, I was like, I'm going to get the Mark II going again. So I had my buddy work on it because I couldn't figure it out. It was like a wiring thing. And at this point, I still had no idea how to work on cars. So like I had no idea what I was doing. And I was like, I had my buddy work on it, and he dove into the wiring stuff. We got it running, and it ran kind of like crap. And then it started pissing oil out of the rear main seal. And so I was like, all right, well, there's only one thing to do is pull the engine. And then that's kind of how I went down the rabbit hole. I pulled the engine, and I was like, well, the engine bay is like really crusty. I might as well respray the engine bay like in the shed. So I painted the engine bay myself, like I call it pickle milk, but it was based off of like I don't know, Tiny Bot vinyl or something like that, vinyl wrap color. And so I repainted the engine bay, and I was like, well, I have this really nice bay. Like, I don't want to put like a crusty 8-valve back in it. And I've always wanted to do an 07k swap since like 2019. And that's another thing we'll get into. I hate that they're getting more popular now, but is it my fault? Maybe. I don't know. That kind of sounds like egotistical of me, doesn't it?
No, I get it.
But so I was like, I want to do the 07k swap finally that I've been dreaming about. And so I bought Eurowise's last 07k swap kit that they ever like made. And I bought it for like $450 because they were just like, we just want it off the shelves. And I was like, all right, cool. So they sent me that. Yeah. And
so are they back in stock now? Like now they're more popular? They still don't. Okay.
Yeah, they're no longer available. Eurowise is more into doing like the Porsche off-road stuff, Porsche Touareg, stuff like that.
Right.
Stuff. So they stopped making like Mark 1, Mark 2 swap kits and stuff like that because they built James Pumphrey's Mark 3 car.
Okay.
And so they had like Mark 2 and Mark 3 swap kits that they sold, but then they stopped selling them for whatever reason. I don't know. I wish they still would, because that would, you know, give more affordable options to people who don't want to spend $1,700 on like the Fabless kit, but it is what it is. But yeah, so I bought that kit, and then I bought an 07k from the junkyard for $200. And then I just dove into it like head first. I was like, I'm going to figure out how to swap this car one way or another. I'd never done anything like this before. Like, you can see like the red, like those are racing coils. That was the first ever like highly involved mechanical work that I ever did was install.
Wow. Never fails. Dude, I got so good at putting coils on Mark IIs. Like I could do it by myself in like an hour. Like granted it is simple, but
bolts.
I could do it easy. I could do it like blindfolded. Well, the rear can be tricky.
Yeah.
Because on a Jetta, you have a little bit of space to get to it, and then you got the speaker covers on the Mark II. I mean, on the Golf.
Yeah.
Cabrios are the worst.
Yeah, dude, that little trunk, it's such a pain in the butt.
God.
It's such, I mean, people that have their air tanks in there and stuff, I'm like, I know you didn't have fun doing that.
You can't do it in the trunk. You got to do it from the back seat. And the top is like, you can't get an impact in there. It's fucking terrible, dude.
Yep.
No, hitting it from
That's
the back.
true. Well, to get on to the next question, how did you learn to do all the things, welding and wiring? I think wiring and welding are pretty daunting.
Yeah. I guess like kind of going back to what I was saying was just like I just started doing it. Like, YouTube University,
So was it mostly YouTube, or were you still are there still forums that are useful, or Reddit, or is it really just YouTube?
All of the resources, like finding like VW Vortex posts from 2003, like that's probably the most like beneficial. But also it's like very convoluted and a little like, I don't know, sometimes their tone comes off aggressive, and it like, I know they weren't speaking to me, but I felt ashamed for asking the question that I didn't, just reading the forum posts, like the guy would ask like the original question, and then all the people would be like, "You're fucking idiot. You got to do this and this and this." And I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, some dudes insulting you from 15.
Oh yeah, old GW dudes can be grumpy sons of bitches.
Yeah, so I like VW Vortex stuff. I guess with the 07K swap, it's relatively new. So Facebook, like the 07K project on Facebook, that group was super beneficial. And then just like, I'd say the one guy who helped me the most, his name's Jason. He owns RevMap Performance. I call him the 07K wizard.
Okay.
Because he just knows these things. Like I'll ask him a question, like simple question, like, "Hey, what's this, Jason?" He'll send me this huge paragraph, like a text. It's like, "So this does this, this does this," and I'm like, "All right, Jason, I'll text you back in 30 minutes. I need to process everything that you just told me. Like, I need to sit down and like think. I have to study what you texted me." He's so smart when it comes to those things. So I'd say that he was like the most helpful when it came to getting that car running. But yeah, as far as like wiring stuff goes, it was really simple. So like I had an S&P swap harness. Sal was really helpful too with trying to figure that out. Sal, like S&P Sal. He was super helpful too. So the harness itself was really easy to like get wired up, even for somebody who had no idea what they were doing. Like it was just plug and play, plug in your ECU, plug everything into all the 07K connectors, and then have like a switched power, like, just a switched 12 volt power, and then run a power back to your fuel pump, ground out your fuel pump, and you're good to go. It took me a while to figure it out just because like I had never done anything wiring related. So it just took me a while to like learn how to use a multimeter, learn how like what all the readings on the multimeter meant, learn how to wire things, how to crimp like butt connectors, and what butt connectors are good, and what's good, what's bad, and proper crimping techniques and stuff like that. And I probably rewired everything like 6 times because I'm like, all right, I didn't get a good connection on that one, on that heat shrink. So like I need to redo it. So yeah, just kind of doing it and trying it, trial and error. Because, if you fuck it up, like you're the only person who's got to fix it. So like, I just was like, all right, well, I guess I'll do it and try to figure it out. As far as welding though, I still don't know how to weld really. Like,
I don't know. I saw you do those E30 coils pretty nicely.
Yeah. Well,
it's a pretty big gig, to be welding your suspension.
I should have mentioned in the video, it was my brother.
Okay.
He did it. He's better at welding.
Okay, right on, man. Appreciate the honesty.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No, yeah, he did the welding. I can weld. Like, I think I have a video up somewhere. I think on Instagram of me welding, and like I can put down like boogers, and I can put two pieces of metal together. That's about it. But yeah, he taught me how to weld. My brother Ryan. I'm trying to get him to start a YouTube channel, but he's too socially awkward. But he said he wants me to get more famous first, and then he'll like just use my fame, kind of like nepotism in a way, but like brotherly. So he's like, I'll just
ride
use your
the coattails.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
But yeah,
when the tide raises, all boats rise.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, just trial and error, just doing it and seeing what happens.
So, how often do you use like physical, like a Bentley manual or a Haynes manual? Is that relevant at all anymore?
I'd say early on in the Mark II, like trying to figure out when I was trying to take apart the body side of the Mark II harness, like just deleting all the stuff that I didn't need.
Okay.
So like, I can't remember what exactly I had to do to the chassis side of the harness, but like, you know, your headlights, your turn signals, there's a lot of extra stuff on that chassis side of the harness that I didn't need. And so just trying to figure out what I could cut off and what I needed to keep. I used the Bentley manual pretty heavily for that. But otherwise, I think YouTube, for me at least, is a lot nicer to like learn. I guess
I agree, man.
Yeah, because like visuals and like you get to see what other people are doing and how they're doing it. And it's also like the Bentley manual doesn't necessarily cover exactly, like trying to find it in like the glossary or their index or whatever, like trying to find specifically what you're looking for. You're like turning through pages and I'm like, is this what I need? Read through it. No, that's not what I need. Then I'll just do like a quick YouTube search and the exact problem that I'm having, or like a quick forum search, the exact problem I'm having will be already covered. I have my Bentley manuals, but I haven't opened them in a while. So
right, I get that. There's like an old cowboy out here. I mean, this dude can do everything basically. But
yeah,
he was like, man, it's crazy. Well, probably didn't even say crazy, but he's like, you can get on YouTube now and you can learn how to do something where basically it would have, I'm talking like as if I were him, it would have taken me like way longer, maybe half a day, because I would have to figure out what I'm trying to do. And then I'd have to look for a book that has that, find it in the book. Then you got to read it. And then you got to blah. And he's like, you know, what took me hours, like could take you like 15 minutes or an hour now.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it's great, but also it makes it harder to use the old methods like a book or something. Yeah. Like it makes it almost impossible to go back to it.
Yeah. There's pros and cons with that, I think. But I think with everything being more accessible and easier to learn, I think that makes it getting into cars and working on cars like a little bit more accessible for people who are afraid. But at the same time, then you kind of get the whole thing of, you know, we could get into like people who shouldn't be in the cars and doing bad shit and, you know, the whole nine there. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, I still like the analog versions of things. My parents the other day went to Ollie's and they brought home like a road atlas. I was like, why do you need this?
Awesome.
They're like,
oh, they're awesome, dude.
I was like, why do you need this? And they're like, so we actually know how to use one of those. I was like, yeah, I do too, but I have Google Maps. Like, why do I need this? Like,
happens when you don't have Google Maps.
Yeah, I know, but it's just
you never know, man.
It's so much easier. But yeah, no, I agree.
When we were doing my S10 motor, it was like we were trying to look shit up. We couldn't find anything. I had to buy a children's book for that motor.
Children's
because we couldn't find anything.
Did you say Shelton or Children's?
Chilton's.
I thought you said children.
No.
It's just like pictures.
Honestly, for Chevy people, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like colorful picture book. Oh,
Logan still misses that truck.
Idiot.
I do. I really wish instead of rebuilding that 2.5, I wish I would have just bought a fucking V8 and swapped it.
you just can't
No
sell
ECU or anything. It would have been. I probably would have spent the same amount of money, and it would have been. Probably never would have got rid of it.
Just don't sell anything ever.
Yeah, just don't sell anything.
Yeah, no.
Isn't that right, Caleb?
I miss that car every day.
What car?
I had a Mark 6 toffee brown wagon that was bagged, tuned and deleted, negative 12 degrees of camber, and it rode like it was stock.
Really?
And yeah,
That's wild.
I did like all the. I'm a mechanic, so like I have access to the alignment rack, so like I was able to. Oh, I need to add a little bit more toe than what the machine's telling me I shouldn't. So it was just like I let go of the steering wheel, it would drive straight.
That's awesome.
But I thought I was going to be a truck guy, and I bought an 03 Sierra, and that lasted all of 2 months, and now I have a Miata.
It always goes back to Miatas.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're trying to find yourself, who you are, you go to Miata.
Yeah, and I'm not a Miata guy. I don't fit in with the crowd.
The Miata crowd is interesting.
You don't like to wear pink tutus?
Sometimes.
If he's feeling himself.
Yeah. I mean, I have a parachute, or not a parachute. What is it? The little umbrella hat that I wear at work every once in a while. That's about it.
One of those ones with like a spinny.
No, it doesn't have one. No, it's
Ah.
like the actual, like, it sits on your head and it's an actual.
Oh,
Yeah. That's more like whenever I get like a muddy vehicle in and I don't want to get dirt all over my eyes and
that's actually
on my
really
head.
smart.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you prefer short form content, or actually making the YouTube videos?
I think I enjoy making the longer form stuff more, because it allows me to talk about more stuff and kind of get more into like the nitty gritty of stuff. Even though like I don't exactly know what I'm explaining half the time, I feel like doing the short form stuff it leaves a lot of questions for people, or like it doesn't allow me to say everything that I want to say, essentially, because I have like a minute 30 for Instagram. Like Instagram being like my main platform, I tailor most of my short form videos to that. Like TikTok, you have like you can post up to 10 minutes, but I don't think anyone wants to listen to 10
Yeah, I don't think
minutes of me
anybody
just
is
yapping.
on TikTok on one piece of content for 10 minutes.
Yeah, so I like to make the longer form content because that allows me to kind of break down what I'm doing, and hopefully somebody learns or gets entertained or laughs or something. But my short form content does better because YouTube is harder to like grow. Obviously, like YouTube
Right,
is difficult to get started.
100%.
It's harder to get started, and it's harder to get like a consistent fan base and following. I'm super fortunate, and like it's crazy how much it's grown in just a year and a half. Because I know some channels that I've seen have been going for years and they're still at like 5,000 subscribers or stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. I prefer long form though, but my short form does better. Like analytics.
Right. It's kind of like that. I don't know. It's almost a funnel where the short term's more marketing, and then the long term's where you actually get fans from.
Yeah. I think at this point, I've been trying to use my Instagram and TikTok platform to try to push people over to YouTube, which is hard to do.
Right. Completely.
So, like, I had a conversation I don't if you guys know him or you don't know him, but James Cooper Ryder, he's got like the Cub van and all that kind of stuff. I had a conversation with him like when I was first starting out with YouTube, and how do I get these people who are following me on Instagram and TikTok? How do I get all these people over to my YouTube? And he's like, it's impossible. Like, you can't make them. Like,
Right.
if they want to, they want to, and if they don't, they don't. And so, I always just throw in there at the end of my videos, like, full video YouTube channel, Brett Warren, go check it out. So I try to get those people over there, and I've mainly just been trying to use it as like a marketing for my YouTube channel. But, I still like to make short form videos. Like, if I don't have any YouTube content to post, like, I'll just do really quick shop stuff and I'll throw up a video. Like, at least I'm getting something out, like at least I'm making some sort of content.
That's true, man. That's a big thing it's changed since, I started my Instagram a long time ago and it's been a lot of consistency, but the main thing that I've noticed is like you can post something every day. It's even easier if you're sharing user-generated content like I do most of the time. But even if you're doing your own content, there's no reason not to make a post in a day. Like, it hurts you more to not post anything than to use like old content or recycled content. Like, put something out every day because attention spans are really bad, and you got to remind people you exist.
Yeah.
Basically.
Hold on. Ethan said something. Ethan said, I love your content, but I don't have a whole lot of time to watch half-an-hour videos often these days. So I love to watch you like 2 to 3 minute videos, but that's just me. But I've been trying to get over to your long-term stuff to learn what you've done to your 7K swaps because I wish to do that golf sooner than later. Hell yeah, Ethan. That too. Like, that's the other thing with YouTube. Everybody is making like fucking movies. Like, people post like 45-minute to an hour long YouTube video. And I'm like, I don't want to sit down for an hour or two at a time to watch your video. Like I watch Adam LZ or Cletus. Like, Adam LZ just posted like a 2-hour video of the LZ World Tour. And I'm like, I don't have time to sit down and like watch 2 hours of a YouTube video. Like, that's going to take me like 3 days to get through. I like to do YouTube videos like 15 to 20 minutes max, because that's like a TV episode. Like, that's like you're watching an episode of South Park or something. Like, real quick, you get to learn something, you get to watch something entertaining, and then it's donezo, and you can go on with the rest of your day or go watch more YouTube videos or whatever you want to do. So yeah,
right. I think a good YouTube video, if it's really good, you don't even need to watch it. There's stuff where you obviously need visuals, but if it's so good and so well scripted and so whatever they're talking about is interesting, or they script it in a way that makes something interesting, like speedrunning videos. Like, I'll watch freaking videos on speedrunning on games. I don't speedrun. I don't play so many of these games, but I'll like listen for like an hour, like, and the glitch does this, and then this guy found out this, and it's like, I want to know more, you know?
Yeah.
So if you do it right, you can make anything uninteresting interesting, but I think there's definitely like a middle point, where good content and also you present it in a good way.
Yeah. There's totally different levels to YouTube too. Like, say like Jimmy Oaks versus like Adam LZ versus like Cletus McFarlane. Like, technically they all make automotive like race car videos, but like, I'd much rather, like, Adam LZ and Cletus McFarlane probably make a lot more money than Jimmy Oaks, but like, I'd much rather watch Jimmy Oaks because he's building cool shit, he's doing cool stuff. Like, so are the other guys, but like Jimmy Oaks, it's a totally different type of video. Like, they're technically doing the same thing, but it's like, it's more in depth. He's explaining why he's doing this stuff, and then like
the other thing,
it's just like totally different flavors. But like, if it's a good video, I'll sit there and watch for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I also at the same time, like, I don't have enough content to.
No, that's totally understandable. Like,
yeah, like I would love to make 30, 40-minute videos. I just don't have enough to do. Like,
yeah, but you're definitely on track. Like,
yeah, I like Jimmy Oaks. Jimmy Oaks is a cool guy. I've actually gotten to talk to him a couple times.
Yeah, no, you remind me a lot of how he started, what he was doing when he started, and you know what I mean, like in his mom's garage. But like, you're in a better spot than that.
Yeah, no, he's a cool guy. Yeah, I was supposed to go to the LZ World Tour. I was very upset that I didn't.
Brother, I think that's the next step for you. Is you got to start getting out to shit like that. And
yeah. No, I agree. Last year, like, you wouldn't ever think it, like, based off of my videos and stuff, and like having this sit down conversation. But I'm socially awkward as shit. Like, I'm so socially awkward.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe you guys are all internally nervous too at the same time, but yeah, I just like I wanted to go to Low Show last year, and then I chickened out at the last second. I was like, I'm not going. Like, screw that. And like, I think that's definitely the goal for this year is just to get out and about, and not only meet everybody that follows me and meet you guys and meet other people and yada yada, but like also get out and market myself to like companies and stuff and meet like the marketing people for such and such company and stuff like that, just to try to get more and more, like, as much help as I can. What is Ethan saying? I'm heading down to Bugabooza. So I have the funds to the Wookiees in the Woods. Really wanted to go. Wookiees in the Woods would be a cool one to go to. I don't know if you guys have ever been to that one. I've never.
I haven't. I'd love to go to that one too. Yeah.
I feel like you need a VR6 though to go.
Yeah, or an R. I mean, I think they allow that to pass, but yeah, it's definitely VR centric for sure.
The only East Coast show that I've ever been to was OBX.
Do you think they would allow me with a 07K? That doesn't count as a Wookiee, does it?
Is it all Arthur? Like, is it all Arch?
Yeah. I mean, they're not gonna kick you out. I guarantee that. And there is a VR5, so
I do want to import a VR5. If we ever make it up with the YouTube channel,
yes,
import a
dude,
VR5.
That would be perfect. That would be perfect for you.
I don't know what I would put it in. I think I'd want to put it in a GR86 or like a BRZ chassis.
Okay.
Oh,
hit both of the markets.
That would be what I want to do. That's like my dream build. Like, if we're talking about like, if I'm rich, you'll see signs. The signs will be either a VR5 or a Daza swapped GR86 or BRZ or whatever. Like, that's the dream. That's what I want to do. Like, full. Whenever we go pro drifting, don't know how to drift yet, but we're gonna do it. When your boy's in the pro spec, bopping around in the VWs and shit, I want to do like a full tube chassis type GR86, BRZ, FRS, whatever, with either a Daza or a VR5. I don't know if VR5s can make that much horsepower.
Daza. What do you mean? What do you mean Daza? What's
Daza is the RS3.
The RS3 5 turbo.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like the jacked up 07K. It's the turbo.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw my post about the ABA versus the 07K, and it said I'm you but stronger.
Yeah, I did.
And a guy commented Section 8 Daza. Section 8 Daza.
Section 8 Daza.
Yeah.
It's really what it is.
Really funny.
Poor man's Daza. I honestly, like, a lot of people get into it like, oh, the 07K is basically a Daza. I really don't know how similar they are.
It's like the 2JZ, like it's the IS300 well, is it the IS300 that has the 2JZ?
It's the 2JZ naturally aspirated.
And it's like it is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Like you probably put more money. Right? You put more money into turboing it and getting it to handle the boost than you probably put more money into that than just getting a 2JZ turboed already and then just rebuilding it.
Yeah.
Jetta George has the GS300, right? That has the.
I think that also has a 2. Yeah.
He has a built 2J in it. I don't know if it's stock turbo or not, but I know they came with 2Js.
So, man, back to content and social media questions. So it's been brought up here, and I've tried to.
Oh, that's Angel. What the hell? That's pornography.
Oh,
What's up,
that's
Angel?
pornography. Okay.
It's Sir Porno.
I thought so.
Sir Porno.
Sir Porno.
God bless you.
Man.
Love you.
Man,
So, God, maybe Angel will have something on this too. But so people tell me like, oh, you should do like followers, rate your followers rides and stuff, or car versus car polls. And I've basically what I've said is like, yeah, you'll get a lot of people interested, but it's not worth the work that goes into it. Does that resonate with you at all? To do those sorts of things?
Like, I started doing like the Follower Friday stuff.
Right. And you had your Mark II antenna, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
But was it worth the effort?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Like, it was fun while it lasted. Like, it was a lot of fun, and people were like super into it and whatever. Like, that was fun. But trying to sift through the DMs, like, and like I didn't even have like a lot of followers at this point. Like, I think
That's what I'm saying. That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Like when I started, I had like maybe 5,000 or 6,000 followers, and it just spiraled. Like by when I finally stopped doing Follower Friday, I was at like 20K, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like just trying to sift through.
I get it.
Like, people would like get upset with me and get mad at me. Like, my car hasn't been in Follower Friday yet, and I'm like, dude, I have like 400 DMs of cars. Like, I am just a dude. Like, I got a full-time job. I can't. I'm just a boy, man. Like, yeah. So like trying to do that, and people would send me these shit. Like, I'm gonna be honest, send me these pieces of shit. I'm like, I can't rate that on the Follower Friday because I'm gonna say this car.
Right, because then it's gonna hurt you, and like, oh, this guy's full of BS, or
this guy's a dick. Like,
yeah.
Like, people would send me Jeeps. I fucking hate Jeeps. And they would send me Jeeps, and I would feel so bad because people like that's their car. They love that
right.
car.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just up there, stupid fucking mustache face, like, that's not a banger. That car, that shit sucks. And I feel so bad about it, but I'm like, I hate it.
That's another thing though. Like, if you kept going with that, like, and you just kept ripping on Jeeps, it would have became a meme. Like, it would have been the funniest shit ever.
I did do it a little bit. Like, it started kind of, people got confused though. Like, I started shitting on Subarus. Because I only like bug eyes. If you send me anything else other than a bug eye, not a banger automatically. Fucking hate it.
Well, GC8s too.
I do like GCH too, but anything newer than that, like bug eye is where I cut it off. And
Okay.
yeah, people would like be sending it to me, and they would send like me their brand new WRX. I'm like, I fucking hate it. And they would be like, is a $30,000 car? I was like, I don't care. It fucking sucks. Like, I don't like it.
It costs a lot of money.
It's like, I would rather have my shitbox Mark II than that Subaru. Like, that, there's nothing, it does nothing for me. I appreciate that you love your car. That's great. But like, it's just not my personal thing. And people would get like up in arms, like, no way. Like, I had a couple go viral, like a couple of the, Follower Friday videos go viral and do super well. And people would like get up in arms, like, all those cars are pieces of shit. And I'm like, okay, what do you drive? And then he'd be like, oh, Kia Soul. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, why are you voicing your opinion? But like, I also tried to be like nice and respectful about it.
Right.
So like, if somebody had like a really shitty car, like, I just wouldn't put it in the video. And I'm like, and they'd be like, why didn't you put me in the video? And I'm like, because you're driving a cigarette mom car. Like, I
just imagine being pressed because some random dude on the internet didn't review your car. Like, that's the craziest shit to me. Like,
so like, I stopped doing it. And so, yeah. And then it like, well, I'm not going to name the company, but you guys probably remember, but I was doing work for a company, and they wanted me to revive the Follower Friday branded with them. And it just didn't work. Like, it flopped. Like, it like got like, I don't know, at that point I had like 50,000 followers, and like the follower Friday, like I did 2 of them for that brand, and they got like 3,000 views a piece. And I'm like, there's no way, like that ratio isn't mathing out. So I'm like, you know what? Not doing that anymore. I think it's run its course. So eventually it kind of became stale. It ran its course, and I'd also get like a migraine after every one I filmed, because I'd just be like, banger, and I'm like, ow. So yeah, I stopped doing it. It was worth it during the time, but like if I were to go back and try to do it again, no shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you could go back, okay, that brings me to my next question. So, gosh, we're coming up on an hour.
You can keep going. It's fine. I was gonna try to get my E30 running, but I think I'm gonna have to pull the harness and just start fresh.
So,
like, please keep going.
so what advice would you give early on, Brett? You know, either good things to do or pitfalls to avoid.
Okay. I think I would have focused more on the YouTube channel. So like when I first started out, I wasn't focused on the YouTube channel. I would post maybe a video a month. And so growth was super slow, but like growth on Instagram was, kind of going crazy. And so I think I would tell him, focus more on the YouTube channel, because in the long run, that's going to be more worthwhile to, sustainability of like doing social media and stuff like that. As far as like pitfalls though, I guess don't take every opportunity that comes up, like I was excited. Like I still get excited when like a company or somebody reaches out to me. But I think do more research as to like who they are, what you're doing for them, and et cetera, et cetera. If somebody reaches out to you and offers you a sponsorship for a 10% discount, that's not worth your time. Like that's stupid. Like I had a couple, like when I first started out, like I'd get maybe 10% off parts, and then I'd have to make an entire video. Like that's 2 hours of my time, or actually more. So like do the actual, work in the video, and then edit the video, and then post the video, and then reply to comments on the video. Like that's 10, 15 hours of my time. And I maybe save $20 on parts. So $20 for 15 hours.
You're exposing their product and spending money on their product.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm conceited, but like that's me doing good for them. And I got 10%, and they got a whole piece of content to like post and reuse. So is that really worth your time? Not really. So like if you have a following and somebody reaches out to you like, we'd love to give you this offer, this amazing, incredible offer of 5 to 10% off. Be like, yeah, I need the product for at least 50% off, or like it's not worth my time. Like it makes me sound like a dick, but like it's a lot of work. It's not physical work, but like,
dude, mental work is the hardest, dude. Like I'd rather be shoveling snow for 3 hours than like on an Excel sheet for half an hour.
And like my dad gets all pissed at me because he's like a blue collar worker. He does road construction, and I'll come home from my teaching job and film content all night, and I'm like, dude, I'm exhausted. He's like, you don't know what exhaustion is. You see these hands, brother? And I'm like,
you got soft hands, brother.
You got soft hands. I work 900 hours a week, brother. And I'm like, dude, my brain just hurts, man. Like, I'm getting bullied by these children. I'm getting bullied by these people on the internet.
I'm getting bullied by these kids on the internet.
I'm married to a teacher, and I see the mental and emotional toll that it takes on her. Like you're teaching elementary school, right?
Yeah.
She teaches 8th grade, and like, so like, and it's a primarily like black school, which is like the roasting central.
Oh yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, it's it's not physically hard work, right? Like it's not like I'm not like, you know, out there on a 90-degree day on black, like, you know, freaking pouring concrete or doing road work or building the house or putting shingles up or baling hay or whatever. Like I'm not doing that stuff. Have done that stuff. Does suck. But like you come home from a full day of teaching these kids and the attention spans are so bad, dude. Like it's so bad. Like I can't get my kindergartners to focus for 30 seconds. Like I'll be like in the middle of a lesson. I'm like 30 seconds later, look over. 3 of them aren't even looking at me. They're like grabbing something off of my table. And I'm like, hey, come back. So it's just constant. And you come home and you're just like, oh. And then like, I just don't want to communicate. Like I don't want to do anything. So yeah, it's rough, I'd say. But I don't know. I like it for the most part.
What was your motivation to start YouTube? Like, who was your inspiration, I guess? Or yeah.
No, yeah, that's a good point. Or like a good question. I think my main motivation was like I watch people do this stuff. I think I have, you know, a decent enough personality to where people might want to watch. So I'm just going to do it. Like I've always wanted to do it. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like people make fun of me on the internet. Okay, whatever. Like, and I started from my personal like Instagram page too. So like it had everybody that I knew since childhood. So I was just like, all right, like if they make fun of me, that's fine. Like at least I'm doing something, you know, at least.
Yeah, I see more and more like car fans. Like I remember when you first reached out to me, you know, I know I could tell that it was like your friends and stuff, you know, kind of poking at you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
It's cool too. Yeah, dude, but it's awesome. Like
the one time I had a live, I hopped on live and I was at maybe like 3,000 followers. So still like I had like, I don't know, 1,000 like of my personal when I started. So like when I started making content, I had like 1,000 followers like from my personal page. And I had like a live and all of my buddies joined in the live and they're saying this, that, and the other thing. And I had to block them from the live. I was like, you're never allowed to.
No way.
I was like, you guys,
like
they were saying like the most heinous shit. And I was like,
you guys are killing my brand, dude.
You cannot be saying this stuff. They're like, oh yeah,
and I'm a teacher.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
Somebody in one of my lives one time was like making like, oh, Brett goes to the Diddy parties. I was like, you cannot be saying that shit. Like, I have a contract. Like, you can't be doing that, man.
Well, when starting your own thing, I don't know. I've heard it from a lot of entrepreneurs and whatnot. They're like, well, there are people that love you and your best friends, but they're usually going to be the last, if never, to, you know, you might like my best friend. I don't think he's ever ordered anything from my store.
Yeah.
I don't think he watches like, he deleted his Instagram, but it's like, I don't really, at first, I mean, this is like years ago. I was like, man, why aren't my friends supporting me, you know, when I'm starting this thing? And it's not really like that, but it's definitely you have to get over that hump of, geez, like, oh, I thought my family and friends were going to be the first. I would make an exception for moms. I feel like moms will support anything. Yeah. Like they will be there no matter what, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure everybody in here kind of relates to that. But for the most part, you just kind of have to do your thing and not let those thoughts of like, oh, how come like my best friends that I hang out with in real life aren't like my biggest supporters right now?
I think it's just a dude thing. Like
maybe a dude thing.
I think maybe just like to show the love, you'll just, you know, poke. At least maybe my friend group is like that. Like, you know, I'll be doing something and they'll be like, you know, I'll post a video and then I'll go hang out with them later and then they'll say something like that I said in the video, like, you know, just poking fun at me. Like,
oh, right on.
So I think it's just maybe just a dude thing. Like your closest friends are gonna, you know, be assholes to you, but at the end of the day, like they care.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah.
We're coming up on an hour. I really wanted to ask this question. So I I wrote it down. How does it affect you knowing that something that started off as a hobby / side gig has a potential career path in sight? And does that put like undue pressure that you didn't have when you were first starting? And how does that hit you?
I've thought about this a lot recently. So like, I still don't view it as a job. Like, I guess when I first started, I just started with the amount of confidence of like, yeah, I'm doing this. Like, I'm going to do this. And so I have just kind of like carried myself with that confidence of like, this is going to do well. And I think that's helped me a lot. I don't think it puts any more pressure other than like, I have a couple, like, I'm super fortunate. I've found like a couple new brand deals or sponsors or partnerships or whatever you want to call it that like I haven't announced yet, but like they're in contract and I've committed to those. And that is just a slight stressor just because you have to, follow their deliverables and, the compliance with the contract and whatnot. But other than that, like, I still just don't care what gets put up. Like, I will make the content as I go. Like, I don't have a set schedule. I don't write scripts. I just do it as I go. I think if I were to do it full time, it would be less stressful because I would have the freedom to write out like my own schedule. And honestly, it's more stressful now having like a full-time job and trying to balance all of these things. Cause like when I'm at work and I'm in between lessons or classes, like I'm thinking about like what I need to do tonight, like what I need to film, how I'm going to film it, what I'm going to say on the video. And then I go do the video and just wing it. Like I've never written a script in my life, like for any of my videos. Like all of my videos are unscripted. Like half the time, like I'll just start filming and I'm like, all right, how do I want to, like, what camera angle do I want for this? Okay, we'll try this, see if it works. And then I'll just throw it up in CapCut and just figure it out from there.
So go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was going to say, so is there like a pressure to create content, or you just like, I know there's always like, okay, I should probably put something out today, but is there ever like where you really don't want to or really don't have anything to post and you're like, fuck, like I need to figure something out, like, or do you not try to stress about that?
No, I don't think so at all. I think like if I don't have anything to post, I don't have anything to post. Like, obviously if I've never gone more than like a week of not posting. So like, I don't know how it would be if I went like 2 to 3 weeks, but like if I don't post for a week, I don't think people are just going to disappear because they're relatively invested in the projects, myself, like they're interested, they're invested, they want to see, everything come to fruition. But I don't feel like a overwhelming sense of pressure. I do feel sometimes a sense of pressure for like the E30 build, the 07k Soft E30. Like I do feel a sense of pressure just to get that car done. But like posting wise, like I don't feel any like sort of pressure.
Is that just because you're sponsors or?
Yeah, I think so. Like, there's so many people who have committed, companies that have committed their time and money. And, like I got like, I'm trying to think of what, people like Coilover Depot, they sent me a set of coilovers.
Yeah, the BCs, that's.
Yeah, like that's
a small fee. Yeah.
No, like that's $1,000 that they sent me pretty much. And, if I can't finish that car, they're losing out on $1,000. They don't have any content like that they can use for their products being like, hey, there's our products, on a really badass car.
Yeah, but at the same time, the exposure that they got from you posting just on your YouTube and just the videos that you posted on your Instagram, like, the amount of followers, the amount of people that reached you, like that pays for you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, and I agree. I think it's more of just me. Like I would feel guilty if the car wasn't finished. Like 100%. I would just feel like, all these people invested, like Arashi Turbo has invested so much money and time and stuff like that to help me, build this project. And honestly, like this project has been like the E30 specifically, has been mainly just sponsored stuff. Like I've really haven't put a lot of my own personal money into the car, which I'm going to have to start to here soon. But I'm like, I need this. I set like a list up of what I needed, and then like pretty much like a spreadsheet, like what I needed, companies that I've supported in the past, bought from in the past, and been like, okay, I'm going to write out like, a pitch deck for these companies, because I don't want to work with, or like, I don't want to support companies that I haven't like, actually bought from or actually used.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
like,
nice.
I've had, dude, I'm going to say the name because I don't fucking care. Fucking Max Speeding Rods has been on my dick to get me a turbo. And when I was at like 20,000 followers on Instagram, I was like, sure, fuck it. Like, if they flame me on the internet, I'll be like, where's your free turbo? Like, where's your free Max Speeding Rods?
Wait, Max Speeding Rods is trying to send you a turbo?
Yeah, wait, like they still
sell
are.
turbos?
Yeah. I think they have like a knockoff, like a 3076R, I think.
I don't want to I don't want to talk shit, but like, isn't all their like stuff knockoff stuff?
Yeah. Like, it's not good stuff. Like that's known to be like the worst of the worst.
Yeah, they got like $200 Mark III coilovers.
Yeah. So they, for years, or not for years, but
that are on the Miata, and they're shit.
God damn it, Caleb!
But no, to be fair, they have over 100,000 miles on the coilovers.
That's
honestly,
they haven't blown them, so
that's pretty good. That's better than my Racelands on my Mark II.
Right on. Dude, and I swear by Racelands, dude. I swear by Racelands. Except they have a much better reputation, even though
the green and gold Racelands, I've heard great things about them. But
really,
any other
dude,
Raceland,
they're awesome, man.
Honestly,
the red ones, sorry, Brett, I haven't heard good things about them.
They're not.
But I could be wrong.
They're not bad. They're not bad. Okay, hold on. I'll finish what I was saying about Max Speeding Rods, and then we'll go into Racelands. But basically, they wanted to send me a turbo, and I was like, yeah, sure, send me a turbo for the Mark II, the 5-cylinder, the 07k. They told me straight up, this turbo is meant for 4 to 6 cylinders. It won't work on a 5-cylinder. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, this is a universal turbo. Like, put it on a turbo manifold, do all the necessary accessory mods for a turbo, like injectors, etc., and do all that. I was like, what do you mean it's not going to work? They're like, we've had customers try to turbo 5 cylinders in the past and it hasn't worked. I'm like,
that don't try to give me a
like that doesn't make any sense. Like, what do you mean it doesn't work? Like, there is no
what's the science? Like, what's the science?
Okay, so if it works for a
use this turbo, but it does not work on a 5-cylinder.
It's like it works for a 4-cylinder, works for a 6-cylinder, but in between 5-cylinder, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. It's not compatible. I'm like, what? That doesn't. So I just stopped.
Sounds like the sweet spot to me.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to buy our odd cylinder count turbo. This is our even cylinder count turbo. Please look at our odd cylinder count section.
I'm with you, Angel. The green and gold, I've heard good things about them, but
okay,
not the red one, man.
What's the male goal for 2025, Brett? What do you mean male?
The male goal.
What is he?
Maybe he's thinking about like sponsorships. What you're getting in the mail. I don't know.
Are you gonna try to get sponsored by USPS?
Honestly, dude,
that'd be a sick rap, dude. That'd be a sick rap.
What's my main goal for 2025? Honestly, I think there's probably two. I'd say the main goal is getting one of my platforms, whatever it is, first to 100,000. I think that's the biggest goal. I think it's most achievable on Instagram.
Yeah, like 70K, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 73 or something right now. So I think that's the biggest goal. And then the other, he's got it down. He knows what's up. I don't even know. I think the secondary goal would obviously be to finish the 07k Swap T30, because that car is going to be fucking rowdy. Like, I think now that I have the other E30, we haven't even talked about the other E30. Oh my God. I think with that car, now that I have the black E30, I think I can slow down on the build of the 07k E30. And I can kind of do it better than I want to. Like, I can put more power out of that chassis than I want to, and then I can use the black E30 as like a C-time thrash car if I can get it running. So I think that's the main goal, is finishing the 07k E30, because that car is going to be cool, and that car might be going to a show. I can't say too much, but I think it might be at one of the big shows that rhymes with, what would it rhyme with?
Fest?
Not LS Fest. It might be at PRI with like in a booth. So I'm very scared about that. I won't say much because they told me not to say much about it, but that'll be cool. So I have to
Don't
get
say
it done.
anything. Say something on a live stream.
Well, I'm gonna say it. Like, I want to say, because then that kind of puts it in stone that I have to finish it by December. So
Accountability.
yeah,
Good
that
old
makes
self
me.
accountability.
Yeah, so that'll be really cool. Like, if that comes to fruition, I think it's going to. Which, yeah, that'll be cool. But yeah, those are my main goals, Angel. Those are my main goals.
Shoot. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I think it's been an awesome show.
Yeah.
If anybody else wants to add anything or ask our esteemed guest anything.
Yeah, Ethan brought up doing a fan mail thing. That'd be pretty cool.
That would
Fan
be
mail
cool.
would be you'd probably get some funny stuff, honestly.
I
Get a
worry.
PO box.
I worry about what would get sent, because I've had some heinous DMs, some atrocious. I'm like, you should be on a list. Or like in my live stream comments about my feet. Like, fuck you.
What the
And,
heck?
dude, I've had some out of pocket stuff.
I'm looking at Caleb.
I've had some whack stuff. Yeah, so I think that'd be cool though, doing like a PO box. I don't know if we're at like the following level that is required to get some stuff in the mail, but like I think we might get a couple things. But is it just gonna be more junk that I have to figure out what to do with? Like, I have so much shit that I don't know what to do with. So yeah, I don't know. But if it would be cool if I could, you know, if somebody is starting out like a channel and they have merch or something and they want to send it to me, and you know, I can be like, hey, go check these dudes out. Like, if that is something that I could you know, do someday, that'd be cool. But no more merch from Brett over here. No more merch of my own. Didn't work.
Not yet.
I got you. I got your
yet.
shirt.
It's a yet.
Yeah, you got some of my shirts, but those are, just know.
I got the what is it? Drifter gang? Not Drifter.
Oh, my Drider Gang one that Angel designed.
Yeah.
That
one's
goes,
cool. Yeah.
That one is cool. But yeah, I don't know. I stopped doing. I don't think I'm gonna do it. That's another thing. I have a partnership, whatever brand deal, like with a t-shirt, like merchandise company. So I'm not gonna do any of my own personal, like, you know, handle the you know, logistics of anything. I'll tell you guys because I'm announcing it on Friday, and I don't think many people.
Yeah, it won't get leaked.
Yeah, so like it's fine.
5 people in here.
So if you guys know Key
Not yet.
Street, you guys know Key Street. They make. You've probably seen it at like car shows or stuff, but they sell in Zoomies.
Okay.
So they're sponsoring the channel and the E30 build. Super sick people, super sick. It's literally like it's crazy. Like, they sell in Zoomies, but like it's really just like 3 dudes that do it. Like, one, like the owner, CEO, or whatever you want to call him, like he designs everything. And then he's got like a brand manager, which is so crazy. Like, and it's really cool because it's a company that I've, you know, supported early on. Like, I have a shirt, like one of their original shirts that I bought like in like 2018 or something. So it's really cool to like come full circle and like work with them. It's crazy. Do I deserve to be in this position? I don't know. But
You do.
no. Oh, dude, that was a cool sweatshirt Logan had on. Yeah.
I mean, you're a humble guy. Like, I think you do, because like coming on here just talking shit for about an hour and a half. Like, you could be out filming.
That's the thing. Like, I don't. If you say you're humble, that doesn't make you humble. That makes you the opposite of humble. So if you
right,
admit
right.
that you're humble, then
one of
you're
those
not
paradoxes.
humble. I just think I'm just a normal car dude. Like, I'm not better than anyone.
So why
and
teaching? Sorry, I have
no, that's okay.
my brain works that way.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how my brain
Money.
works. Like, yeah, what Logan said, money. No, but like, I guess like for the full background, like I was a shitty kid in high school, middle school. Like I was a complete dirtbag, and I don't think I was handled properly. Like teachers would just scream at me, and instantly go to accusations and just screaming, and like I'd have yelling matches with teachers. Like I'd scream
Same,
back.
dude.
Yeah,
You have
like,
that
I was.
ism.
Yeah. And so like I remember this one teacher, like she came, I feel bad about it, but looking back at the same time, like she was kind of a bitch. She came up to me one day and was like, what's your problem? Like, you seem like a nice kid. Like, where can we get along?
I'm autistic.
No, I straight up, I looked her in the eyes, and as I was like 12 years old, and like, I shit you not, like what I exactly said. And I was like, I don't know. It kind of seems like you're the problem because you keep messing with me. You keep like bothering me. And she got pissed and she started instantly screaming at me. And I was like, don't raise your voice at me.
husband.
Like, don't put your menopause out on me. So she started yelling at me and we're screaming at each other across the cafeteria. Mind you, my mom is a cafeteria lady, so she was standing right there watching the whole thing. And
Oh, geez. Mama Bear.
Mom was just watching it. She was like, let's see what happens. Because she was agnostic to the situation. She didn't care that I got in trouble. She didn't care that
Okay.
yelling at me. She's just like, I just want to see how this unfolds. So she's watching the whole thing. I'm screaming. She's pointing her finger at me. And then that made me more mad because I'm like, don't point your finger at me. And she started getting real close to my face. And I was like, get out of here. Get away from me. Like, I'm scared. And like the ISS room, like in school suspension, like I'm walking down to the hallway and then I'm walking out and I'm like, I'm gone. I'm leaving. I'm going to the ISS room. Like, I know I have in school suspension. Like, I don't even care. So she got mad that I instantly, like, I told myself that I had in school suspension. And so she like starts storming down the hallway, screaming at me down the hallway. And I turn around and I said something. And then eventually, like, it all calmed down, thankfully. But anyway, long story short, I was not handled well. I don't think, like, I wasn't handled the right way. Like, I think somebody could have sat me down and had like a genuine conversation with me and like tried to understand where this was coming from and why I was acting the way that I was. And nobody ever did that. So they just instantly labeled me as like a bad kid. Like, I was instantly labeled as the bad kid and always like had like a target on my back from the teachers. Like, if I did anything, like, I remember we had field day and my buddies were filling up water balloons, and just being a dick, I like went like this to his water balloon so that it would splash up on him a little bit. And I instantly detention. I was like, I didn't even get a chance to apologize to him. Like, he did the same thing to me about 5 minutes ago and you guys didn't say anything to him. And yeah, so like, I think that's why I wanted to be a teacher, just to try to help those kids that, are either misunderstood or don't get the attention that they need or deserve. Have I been able to do that? Don't know, but I have had like really good, meaningful conversations with kids that are like surprisingly able to have those conversations. Like, you don't think a 7 or 8 year old is able to have like a deep, meaningful conversation. They just say it in a very they have a harder time articulating their words, but like they're saying some deep stuff that they don't realize. So I think that's
feelings. They just don't.
It's more direct, even. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I won't go into like, I've had some out of pocket stuff that they've said to me.
Sure. I bet.
So yeah. And But yeah, at the end of the day, that's pretty much why. Have I helped any kids? I don't know. I do think that I make some kids, feel comfortable and safe. Like they'll tell me stuff that I really don't want to know. But at the same time, I'm glad that you're comfortable sharing that with me. Like they'll tell me about their girlfriends or their boyfriends. And I'm like, you guys are in elementary school. Why are you doing this? But yeah, like I'm just glad that they're comfortable sharing that with me and, feeling that I'm a safe person to tell that to. It also helps that I'm like a young face.
Totally.
Yeah, but yeah, convoluted way of asking why.
Right. It was in short, it was like, all right, if no one's gonna do it right, I'm gonna do it right, damn it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yep, I'm gonna do it then.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah. I have a hard time with discipline. I feel bad yelling at the kids. So like whenever I get like
I could never be a cop or a teacher.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel
guilty. I'm sure, dude.
I feel so bad. Like, they say like a funny joke and then you'll yell at them because they say it like while you're in the middle of a sentence. So you have to be like, that joke was funny, but knock it off. Like they're like, oh.
That's actually really. God damn it, that was good, but shut up.
Shut up.
I don't know if reading above my grade level didn't get me as far in life as I had hoped.
Yeah. It is intriguing to think, like, I do sit down and think about, like, what is this kid going to grow up to be? Like, what is he going to, like, be like, and what is he going to do with his life? It always makes you curious because, like, I think back to when I was in elementary school and, like, trying to think of, like, my friend group. I'm like, well, all of my friend group turned out okay, but then this one kid turned into, like, a real creep and went to jail. Like, it sounds really ominous to think about. I'm like, what kid in this grade is going to be, like, the bad kid? Like, you never know. It's hard to, like,
well, that's the hard thing with working with kids. I think I told you briefly, like, when we talked probably a year ago now, like, I've worked with kids a lot, and it's like one kid can, like, ruin the whole class, which is like a pain.
Yeah.
And it's
luckily, yeah. Luckily, my school that I work at is, like, very heavily involved with, like, emotional support and stuff like that. So, like, we're really good at, like, identifying the kids who need that help and then helping them. So, like, we're
right on.
Always involved, like, teachers pushing into classrooms, helping out with the main classroom teacher if they have, like, a situation where there's a kid having, like, a mental breakdown or doing whatever. So, like, we're super, super involved. But yeah, I don't know how much longer I'll be a teacher.
We shall see.
Yeah, we'll see. I've been toying with the idea of letting my contract run out in this summer because it ends in June, and over summer break I might just try to structure my summer break like a full-time content creator and see where it goes. Because right now I'm making the same, if not more money from content than I am my teacher salary.
Holy shit.
No way.
Yeah.
But then the benefits, I think,
yeah,
with a job, the benefits is like really the main benefit. It's not even the paycheck anymore. It's like once you're past what.
But like, how often do you use, besides retirement, how often do you use like medical or like anything like that?
Yeah, the only, like, I'm 24, so I'll be honest, I'm still on mommy's and daddy's insurance.
Right.
So, like,
past 25 is when you need to worry about it.
So I think, like, at 26 is when I get kicked off. And so, like, other than, that's really the only benefit that I really need, because I have one medication that I pay for, but even without insurance, it's like $15. So, like, I can swing that. But I think if I could get the content stuff to go up 2 years from now, I think I would be in a much better situation where I could afford that. But I don't know. It's hard to, say, and it's also very scary because it's not like a consistent thing. Well, actually, the one thing I have is pretty consistent. Like, it's a consistent income from, like, a brand deal. But how long they have the ability to terminate that at any moment. So, like, what if I say some out of pocket shit or something and they cancel me? Like, like, I don't think I'm going to do that, but Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I think it would be fun, but I think it'd be scary. Like I posted something on my story the other day, and like a bunch of people like said, "Yeah, fuck it. Like you're young, and like worst comes to worst, you can fall back and be like, you have a bachelor's degree and 2 years experience in a school, so like you will get hired somewhere." So I don't know. We'll see.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even for the benefits, I didn't until I turned 30. I never really had to think about it, but lately I do think about it. Like dental can rack up really fast. You know, maybe you have a fall and you need a root canal. And it's like $5,000 or something.
Yeah.
Or vision. You know, I see you have glasses, so that's something too. But I don't know. Until 30, I don't think you. It really wasn't for a while. I mean, now I get benefits, but it's because I'm 33 now.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see why it's important.
It's scary, but like even with my parents' insurance, like we don't have dental insurance, we don't have dental coverage. So like anytime I've gone to the dentist, it's always been out of pocket. And so like vision insurance, we do have that, but it's not the greatest. And I try to take care of my glasses so I don't break them.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I guess being young and dumb, I'm not concerned about it. So I'm just going to say fuck it and try and see what happens. But
totally.
Thanks, Angel and Ethan. We believe in you. Do I believe in me? I don't know.
That's the nice thing, though. It's like it's social media, so like there is pressure, but at the end of the day, there's no pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think at this point, I've gotten my name out enough. Like, if my personal stuff fails, like I could probably find like a company that needs content creator or something. Because I've seen that a couple times. Like, I know like this guy I used to follow on TikTok works at Donut now. I mean, like Donut, but you know,
right.
But like you know, like he's got a consistent income. He's got a job and he makes content. Like that's honestly anyone's dream, even if it's for Donut. But yeah.
Right on.
You should though. You have a real shot at it. I think so. I think we could do it. Anyone can do it. Anyone can be like, anything they want to be.
Compared to other YouTubers and content creators, like you're a pretty good step ahead from when they started, you know. So that's just another way to think about it.
Yeah, I feel like super fortunate and grateful that it's blown up the way it has. Like I don't know what I did, you know, why my videos do better than others, but like, you know, I feel part of me feels bad for people who like have been trying to grow their social media and like it hasn't done anything. And they ask me like, you know, how did you grow so quickly? I'm like, I don't know. Like I just am making the videos and posting them. Like I have no secrets. Like I honestly don't understand like Instagram or TikTok's algorithm or anything like that. Like,
right. Dude, it's all memes. It's all memes now.
Yeah.
It's the meta. Like you look at Duolingo or Slim Jim or whatever, like memes are and it's kind of annoying, but you kind of have to cater to that to some degree. Like I've had to really switch it up. Like I used to just post cool stuff and now it's like I have to make memes. Like I have to. Otherwise I'm just like not going to get any algorithm time.
Yeah.
And you kind of got to grow with it, you know?
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh, the algorithm changed. Like, I'm gonna quit now. Like,
yeah,
I gotta figure it out.
Yeah, you gotta figure out what's the new meta.
Yeah, exactly, man. And this is kind of a pain in the butt, but
business 5-year statistic.
Yeah, about 50% fail within the first 5 years. So 5 years is like make it past 5 years, basically.
Yeah,
and I don't see being a creator is no different from being a business. Like,
yeah,
it's the same thing. You're taking a risk. You're putting a lot of time that might not pay off until years later.
Yeah. Like if we look at it,
whatever.
Yeah. How long have you been doing Rub-a-Dub? It's probably been what, 10?
It's been probably, I'd say 7 now since it really was a business. And there was a time I was working basically 3 jobs.
Yeah.
3 if you're including the Rub-a-Dub stuff. And I was making like $50 a month off keychains, something like that.
Yeah.
So I know that feeling that you were talking about when you're so busy doing your main thing, and then you're putting time into this pleasure, passion thing that has some vision of a future in it.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of why I asked that question earlier. I was like, how does it feel like when that kind of changes? Like, oh shit, I'm just doing this for shits and gigs, and now I'm seeing like stuff come up. It can be something real, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
For me, I definitely felt pressure, but I like the way you answered it because like I kind of have avenue perspective. Like it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It doesn't have
yeah.
to be freaking. I got to do this. I got to do this. Like no, I get to do this. You know.
Yeah. I try. Like when I went through college and stuff, like a lot of people would, take their lives too seriously and get like up in arms and stuff. And I'm like, I'm just here, man. Like I'm just doing my thing. Like I just am existing. Like if you can't do that, then what else are you gonna do? Like don't take life too seriously. Like obviously there's certain moments that you need to, lock in.
Right,
but,
obligations, responsibilities,
yeah,
yada yada.
but like
Adulting.
Trying to pay my bills, man.
Yeah. But like,
Yeah.
like there's no
Just want eggs, dude.
Just want eggs.
just want eggs.
Please.
I need to feed my kids. But yeah, no, I need to start working in graphic design. I need to make a logo and eventually in some nice posters. You can do it. I can't graphic design. I'm awful at it. I'm still paying.
If you need help, my girlfriend does it for she works for a real estate company. She does it for real estate agents, a bunch of different stuff. She's done all my business cards and
I pay for Adobe, and then you can't cancel it, or you got to pay money for it. So I'm letting it run out, paying like $40 a month, but to cancel it, it's like $500 or something ridiculous like that. I'm like, what?
Jesus Christ.
I should have read it.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on subscriptions and never owning anything anymore.
Yeah, I watched a really long. Go ahead, sorry.
No, it's not worth it.
I watched like a really long YouTube video. I can't remember who it was from. It was either Danny Gonzalez or Drew Gooden or somebody like that about like subscriptions and like TV streaming platforms and like no hard media or whatever. And he's just
right,
like,
music, yeah.
Yeah, like what are we doing? Like how did we get to this point? Like where you don't own anything.
You don't own anything and you'll be happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Eat the
Like,
bugs.
Bugs. Yeah.
Like I'm spending what $10 a month on Spotify, so $120 a year, and I don't own a single fucking song. Like if I lose that Spotify subscription, like I get nothing from it. Like I get the pleasure of being able to use your platform. I get the permission to use your platform.
You don't have ads.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah.
You pay for the ads that you don't listen to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
does because since you're making money off YouTube, does I know like you get money off like ad time watched, like when you run ads.
Yeah.
How does that work with like people who have premium, or do you know?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, the majority of my income doesn't come from the content itself. It comes from like the brand deals and stuff like that. So honestly, I haven't really looked into like the YouTube statistics. Like I haven't made a significant amount of money on YouTube. But I think you get like your RPM is set from like they call it like qualified views. So like say if I get a YouTube video that does like 5,000 views and there might be like 3,000 qualified views. So maybe the other 2,000 are like premium users or something. I don't know. I genuinely don't.
Okay.
That's just my guess, but I honestly don't know.
Well,
I know like
No, go for it. I'm gonna switch topics. No, go for it.
like I know for me, like on Twitch, like I love looking at analytics. So like I get like a penny per ad that people watch.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if it like me having premium was like hurting the creators that I like to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. penny per view. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even know what my RPM or like my view, my whatever they call it, like per 1,000 views. I don't know what that rate is, honestly. It varies by video. Like sometimes,
Right, it's very dependent. And I've
Yeah.
watched like some YouTube creators and they talk about like it depends. There's so many different ways, you know, it's not just from YouTube.
yeah,
It's like if you're sponsored by Coilover brand or something, then you put a link in the description, and depending like how relevant is the video to how the money's coming in, sort of thing.
yeah.
Like there's so many tangents, and there's affiliate marketing and whatever, which I don't think is you.
That's the one thing that like I refuse to do is like affiliate or like TikTok shop and shit. Like, oh, I hate it
I get
so
that.
much.
It's just so cheesy. Yeah, it hurts the brand, I think. That's why I wouldn't do it.
And it's like half the time, like the person who's making the TikTok shop video, like hasn't been a supporter of that company for years. Like they're just doing it so they can try to make a quick buck. Like I think it's just so disingenuous. And
I was
half
making
the time,
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say half the time it's just some cheap piece of shit like gimmick product.
All right, little turbo keychain.
Yeah.
I was making a video for a big like truck dude that's around here. He makes like hydraulic and air suspension, custom hydraulic and air suspension for big trucks and stuff. And he was talking to me. He was like, "Oh man, I've been thinking about doing the like little videos. It's like if you see, like send this, the first person that sent you this has to like wash. You have to wash their car in a thong or something like that." He's like, "I've been thinking about doing those videos." I was like, do not. Like you'll get a lot of viewers and stuff, a lot of clicks, but all of your solid fan base is gonna fucking
Right. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
It's that short to long term benefit, really.
Yeah, like I've experimented with that, like, you know, the easy shareable stuff or the, you know, like way back when I started, like my videos were more like mass appealing. So like I would make, you know, skits and stupid stuff like that, or like share this with a friend who's, you know,
right,
get North Star V8'd by like, you know, like so I would make those kinds of videos and like you would get a lot of shares, but you wouldn't get any like conversion. Like you'd get no followers from it or anything like that.
Yes.
So, yeah. And so like I try now to have me, like my personality in every single video. Cause like at the end of the day, if you're following me, like if you follow the channel, you're following me, like you're committing to me, not the car, not the, you know,
right.
That kind of stuff. Like you're here for me. Cause what if all the cars blow up? Like explode.
Brett's still here.
I'm still here. Like, what are we going to do now? So yeah, I think it's gimmicky and silly. Like, I don't know if you guys like ever scroll through like Instagram and like my reels are pretty rough. Like it's always just like the reels that I get are like dudes like complaining like I got 30,000 views, but 2 people followed. And I was like, well, what did you offer? Did you offer anything other than a video of your car? Like thousands of people.
Are they going to actually engage in your content in the future? Or
yeah.
They're just going to be another follow-up?
Yeah. Like how many people, like what do you have to offer that's different than everybody else? Like, okay, yeah, cool. You got a cool C5 Corvette, but like, so does my grandpa down the road. Like, you know, like what do you have to offer? What's the personality, you know, or what's, you know, are you educating people? Are you entertaining people? Like what do we got going on here? You know?
Right. Well, I heard you complaining about the price of Adobe and how you don't own anything. And I'm worried that you might go on the path of a pirate or something. So there is good news. There is a lot of videos on YouTube that give tutorials on how not to pirate Adobe products so that you don't do that.
Okay.
So, all right. So
okay.
I just wanted to make that resource known.
Okay.
So that you don't do that. Don't be a bad boy.
I won't be a bad boy.
Not.
Yeah, how to not. And I think there's the Reddit threads too, you know. You could go there. I mean, you should really know yourself up so you don't make that mistake.
Okay, yeah, I definitely don't want to do that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. I feel
Yeah, you're welcome. I got to look
Yeah.
out for my friends.
What did we do at the beginning of the last video?
The beginning of last video?
Yeah. I do believe we did some pirating. I know
No, but
we
we were,
have, like-
we were pirating memes. We were just
Oh, yeah, that doesn't
pirating
count.
stock photos. I mean,
You can use my subscription, Angel says. I
I
don't really
got
even
all
use
the
it.
good shit.
I don't really even use it anymore. I just use it. I don't even use that for thumbnails. I use Canva for thumbnails.
I've been
You
learning a
you
little
can
bit of
hire
Canva.
Angel.
Yeah, I don't got that kind of bread yet to hire him. I don't want him to do free work for me either. It's like people offer to like do stuff for me for free, and I'm like, I can't pay you, but like I don't want you to do it for free. So I'm just gonna do it myself until I can't afford to pay you something.
Right. Oh, I feel that, man.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Still need to subscribe to him. I used to a while back, but money's been extraordinarily tight. Subscribe to who? My OnlyFans?
Yeah. Who do you have to pay to subscribe?
Oh, my Instagram subscriptions. No, don't do that. Yeah, don't subscribe to that.
Don't do that.
I don't
You should
get
get
any of that.
a Patreon.
I do have a Patreon. I just don't push it. Like I don't, I feel guilty like putting stuff behind like a paywall. Because like I don't know, you come to Instagram or YouTube or TikTok, like you're not looking to pay for anybody's content. You get that for free. So like I don't think it should be the followers or the fans who should pay for it. I think if anything, it's the people that have like marketing budgets, like companies, sponsorships, etc. Like if they want to sponsor you, then they can pay you. But I don't think fans should have to pay. Like Instagram doesn't pay anything, like not a dime, like per view or whatever. And the only way you can get money from Instagram is if you monetize your followers, and I don't want to do that because like they have like that subscription thing on Instagram, and I think I have mine set for like $1, and I get maybe 30 cents of that. So like I get 100 people, I'm not making any money. Like it's like, I guess it's not worth putting that behind a paywall to begin with. And then, like, I don't know what other benefits to give people because, like, I want everybody to see. Honestly,
what, $5, $10 a pop? Come on.
I've got some heinous DMs, man. I think I'd do good on OnlyFans. Got some out of pocket DMs. I'm like, you have a family.
You have a bird.
Oh man, yeah. I'm not. I can't say that.
Well, let's get into it on the next one, dude, because we'll definitely do this again.
Yeah, I'm down.
I think we'll end off here.
Yeah. I'm going to go try to see if I can't get my M50 E30 to run. Big yikes. Big yikes. Oh, boy.
Yeah, dude. And I'll forward my buddy to you. We'll see. Like, I don't know how willing he'll be. He's actually a really nice guy. But, dude, this guy he's done M swaps, S swaps, and dude knows it all.
That's the one thing.
Are you going to be live streaming anywhere? Or you just...
I don't know. Like I live stream every once in a while on like Instagram, like just to say what's up really quick. I was like doing sim stuff on TikTok, but it's very time consuming. Like I'll spend 3 hours or something streaming, and that's 3 hours that I could have been making videos, or like doing actual work to my car. It was fun while I was waiting for parts for the E30, but now, like I have so much stuff to do. I got to put the engine back in the Mark II. I got to put the engine into the 07K into the E30, and now I have the M50 E30 that I got to get going. So like, I probably should be doing that stuff other than just sitting and playing video games. But I still have been using the sim, so hopefully I'm a pro drifter come drift season. Bless you.
You can I can kind of over the phone help out if you ever need anything. I mean, if you want my number, I can give it to you, or you just shoot me a DM on Instagram.
With what? Streaming stuff?
Like car stuff.
Or car stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, so I always ask people for help all the time, and then I always, say I can help you with something. I don't know if it's going to be car stuff, but I'll try to help you with something.
Emotional support.
Yeah, if you need therapy, like I can try. I took a psychology class in college, so I know a little bit, a thing or two. But yeah, cool. That was fun, enjoyable.
Thank you so much, Brett.
Allowed me to get my ADHD out. Sorry if I yapped the whole time, but
oh no, that's what we wanted.
No, that's the point. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're podcasters now. Is this how it goes?
No. This is a weekly live stream.
We're
not podcasters.
Yeah.
Oh, then I got this mic for nothing.
Oh, all right, fellas. That's good being here.
All right.
I'll try to get some people to go watch it, maybe. Because you'll post it like afterwards, don't you? Just like let it upload.
It does automatically upload it, and I've even thought about changing that, honestly, to just doing them live and not. But
yeah,
I think I do want to keep this one up, and then we'll see. I don't know. I might just keep doing them live. They're kind of weird having up, like, because I've tried to listen to them after, and I'm just like, I don't know if it's.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't like listening to myself.
Right, and see that could be the bias, but
yeah,
or maybe like I don't know. I'm still figuring this out for sure.
If you ever did a podcast, you need like a third party to edit it because that'd be so rough.
Right, yeah, getting the clips and the funny parts and whatnot for sure.
Ethan says, next stream, everybody just sits there in silence. Just hard breathing into the microphone. Just.
I feel like none of them get solid until like after like 300 or like. It takes a while, man.
Yeah, unless like you already have like a big following, like.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Howdy, guys. I'll see you guys later. All right.
All right. Play us out.
Later.
Yeah.
Peace.
Play us out.
Rub-a-dub.
How do we do that?